The computer lab is in an offshoot room from our library. As for the library itself, aside from an expected emphasis on anatomy drawing guides and the like, it's pretty standard. Not to brag, but the school I was at for my freshman and junior years had a library with 2 floors. Probably should have read a thing or two with all those resources. I'm getting off topic. The computer lab is the focus. The calm tranquility of the library is overtaken by the organized sterility of the lab. 40 standardized sets of computers and monitors line the walls, forming a panopticon around the desk reserved for the teacher in the middle. I remember them being organized differently in elementary school, but for a few years now I've just been seeing this information. Sounds to me like someone got caught one too many times working on more risque art pieces. The monitors are all turned on, but only one's logged in. Weird, there's nobody here. Damien in bed said Liz would be here, though. Maybe she's in the bathroom? I'm not one to pry and snoop around, but I'm really pressed for time here. On screen I see open PDFs and documents. They look finance related and filled with abbreviations and jargon I don't understand. Maybe I can figure out how to create my account on my own? Oh, hi there. What are you doing? Ah! Haunted high school! It didn't mean to scare you. Oh, thank Christ. It's just a dino girl with an extremely long neck and not a specter. No, really. What were you doing to the fiscal report I was working on? I didn't do anything. Oh, well, she's quite mobile. I've been working on that all day. Why did you touch it? I didn't. I only minimized it, I swear. Right, I'm here for a reason. Are you Liz? The Brachiosaurus furiously reopens all her windows and for a while types out some information before acknowledging me again. Excuse me? Oh, interesting. Okay. We'll likely get 2 different types of reactions depending upon who we say actually sent us. Well, we are more here about getting ourselves logged in, getting our account made, and since Ben is normally known and trusted, I think Ben might be the better option here. I wanted to submit something for that art contest going on, but I don't have my school login info yet. Ben told me you'd be able to help. Ben, huh? Well, Ben and Damien. She mumbles something beneath her breath and turns her head back to me. I'm a little unsure of how that actually worked out. Yeah, I'm Liz. Okay, a 360 view of us. Whoa. Inko. But yeah, I'm new here, so I needed an account. Not a problem at all. Liz sits down and cracks her knuckles as she starts typing away at the keyboard. Alright, I'll see if I can get that done for you. In a flourishing display of spreadsheet software experience, Liz navigates and organizes several documents in seconds. I've always had the general idea that there were a lot of shortcuts and commands, but sheesh. She's resourceful. So, you're an artist too? Since you want to enter the contest so bad. Oh yeah, I'm a photographer. Yeah? How are you liking it here so far? Well... Students here usually jump to asking about what they're graduating here for so they can more easily form connections and collaborate, so excuse me if I might be going too fast. No, not at all. I'm a bit more at ease now that you've just explained it. Yeah, it's pretty good, although I feel bad about missing most of the first day. Yeah, not a big deal. Guess not. Although, truth be told, I see those paintings framed in the hall by the principal's office, and it does put a bit of rain on my parade. Oh, those. Yeah, I get what you mean. I think it's like that by design, honestly. Something about breaking the students' egos. And you end up wanting to improve like crazy so you can reach your goals. At least that's what happened to me. I kind of see the logic behind that, really. So if you get to see like how good other people are, is that you realize that how much more you have to do in order to actually get better, in order to actually be, quote-unquote, the best. I'm planning on going to university and getting degrees in design and business. And that's just the start. I'm also starting to become an apprentice for art dealings, getting the right paintings for the right people. Also, she'll be a curator. My tutor said I'm impressive enough I should start enrolling for any and all of the important universities around the country I'd like. Wow. I mean, I'm also pretty well off myself, but it never occurred to me that I should be this ambitious. Thank you. What about you? I'm going to be an influencer, blogger, and be crazy popular. Okay, big pipe dream there, so... I'm going to publish a photography magazine. Okay, I don't know, but it's going to be big, so this is rather directionless. This seems like the quote-unquote safe option. Publish a photography magazine, so you do need to make connections, and that kind of goes in line with the goal, or at least Inko's quote-unquote overall goal of, like, making friends and becoming more known, really. So this, although it is a high goal, really so, and it is ambitious, the thing is that it still doesn't seem as direct. This seems more like of an actual solid goal to go for. You could become this by having accomplished this. So I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna publish a photography magazine. Well, it's something. At least more than a lot of people here. What do you mean? Like, half the school may as well just be in a daycare. Sorry if that sounds rude. We've got these school programs and even industry professionals coming in for lectures. It's like some people are here just because their friends happen to be here too. No big plans, it seems. Yeah. Wait, you mean like Damien? Oh, that was a reaction. Yeah, I shouldn't have mentioned it. He's still cool though, don't get me wrong. I hope me talking about him to you like this doesn't come across as douchey. He's definitely the friendly type. He even partnered with me in gym class and dragged me along to sit with him at lunch. Is that so? Yeah, he was really excited about it too. And then he introduced you to Olivia as well and tried to break the ice so she can come out of her shell? Yeah. How'd you know? Oh boy. I'm sorry about that, Inko. What? Is Damien messing with me? No. Damien's great. He's just maybe a little too eager. If he considers you a friend to him, he'll want you to be our friend too. Specifically, he'll want you to be Olivia's friend. What's wrong with that? Nothing at all. But you've seen Olivia. You can probably tell she's a bit unresponsive. Doesn't really like to talk to anyone, not even Damien. So you can definitely try to be her friend, but just know she'll most likely ignore you. You don't like Olivia? What? No, I do. She's fine, I guess. I sat with her during lunch, after all. And I'm sure you'll get along with us just fine. And hey, I'd love to see Olivia make a friend. Just don't get too invested trying to get her to warm up to you. Damien will always be down to hang out, though, and I certainly don't mind. It's just that him and Olivia are nigh inseparable, so if the deal turns you off, then it's not your fault either. There's history to that warning. Inseparable? So they're like girlfriend and boyfriend? No. They just live in the same house. Oh, okay, what? Hello? That's something. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Oh. Damien's also just incredibly patient and outgoing. I envy him. But, yeah, he would like nothing more than everyone getting along like best buddies. Unless you're like Damien and you can be pleasant to a brick wall forever, your time is probably better spent elsewhere. So, how serious are you about your ambitions? Pretty serious, I think. Liz nods. Something to keep in mind, then. It's a struggle, but like Damien says, we gotta keep trying, right? Liz gives me a half-hearted smile, but she still seems sad about something. Anyways, I'm sorry for talking your ear off about private matters. You still want to get that submission turned in? She stops for a second on one tab to scan for something. And... got it! She motions her head to the back of the room at the printer as it hums to life. I get up and get the paper. Both my username and password here are strings of numbers. I take a snapshot of the username and password so I won't have to remember it. Thanks. Anyways, you should hurry. Lunch is ending soon. Right. According to the time display on the monitor, I've only got 10 minutes left. I followed the instructions on the printout, finally getting to the student hub of the site. And thankfully, the art contest is displayed prominently across it. Clicking through a couple of links, I finally find the submission instructions. It's simply a matter of putting my entry details as the name of the file and dragging it into the school's shared drive. Plugging in my portable portfolio hard drive, I create a copy of my magnum opus. Then a quick rename, drag it here, and... whoops. Just in time. I take the extra minute to safely undock my hard drive and then log off the computer. Looking back to Liz, she's completely wrapped up in her work. Don't think interrupting her is a good idea, especially after what she said about Olivia in our own time. I opt to simply leave her be, heading out of the room and the library for class. After all, it's time for the class I've been looking forward to the most. Aww. Gee. I don't know. She looks sweet, really, so. And I like the whole long neck design here. Although it does remind me of, like, Long Dog, really, so from Undertale. But, you know, I guess a bit more palatable. Not as disturbing. This day is certainly turning out better than yesterday. I hope I didn't just jinx it for myself. My nerves had been acting up when I first stepped back into the classroom. Made even worse when I was hit with another flashbang. After my 20 other classmates had finished laughing, Mr. Yadakin made a show of waving a freshly taken photo from a fancy fold-up camera from the 70s. I dubbed this portrait... Okay, oh, this is French. Okay, so give me a second here. Okay. D'étudiant sans pour. D'étudiant sans pour. Forgive me if I've actually butchered that, and I likely have. After he thumbtacked the shot on a corkboard filled with poor snapshots of everyone else, Mr. Yodakin reassured me and sat me right next to Ben. He managed to sum up his syllabus in under a minute, instead of taking the majority of the time to go over our first lesson and assignment on exposure and lighting. With each new light fixture he brought out and explained, I felt my mind swirl faster with new possibilities of old shots. If only I had that then, or if I could have used that there. Now that you've had a small taste of it, we'll start on your first photography assignment, proper lighting. I'm salivating at the thought. Mr. Yadakin had just finished his first lesson where he'd handed out all sorts of equipment to look over. It's the first time I've handled some of these things, like the enormous box light that was still taking up the entirety of my desk. Remember, though, that these are just tools meant to enhance the photo. You can highlight a turd all you want, it's still a turd. The crude language guarantees a chortle from the few half-listening students. The teacher looks over to the clock and hums. Well, I see that we managed to finish this lecture a tad bit early. Why don't you all take these last 10 minutes to compare notes? Maybe even consider doing the assignment as a collab piece with a classmate. The room was quick to fill with the sound of chatter. I wonder if Hey! I turned to Ben and see his eager grin. You want to do a joint piece? Since you don't know any good spots in the school and all. I pulled out the assignment sheet from beneath the lightweight light. Oh gosh, okay, so that's a trip over there. I pull out the assignment sheet from beneath the lightweight light on my desk and give it a quick scan again. Present a set of photos demonstrating your understanding of proper lighting. Well, that's very all-encompassing. That could do just about anything. You are allowed to borrow one lighting tool and must take the shot on school premises. And I swear, I've handed out this assignment for years now. If one more student just takes a picture of the hallway outside the classroom, I'm going to personally throw them over the railing. Be original, please. I've got the perfect place for it. If we work together, we can even use 2 items. The offer is too tempting. Sure. I hold out my hand and Ben takes it and shakes it, sealing the pact. My face is feeling weird from all the smiling today. But in truth, I'd been enjoying Mr. Yadakin's class so much that I couldn't stop. It feels like the entire world to gain from Mr. Yadakin's lesson. And the entire world to explore, seeing as ever since the move, I hadn't had time to actually explore Volcadera Bluffs. Sure, on occasion I'd go out on my own to parks and stuff, but who doesn't? Besides, I'd be a pretty lame photographer if I didn't go out and find stuff to photograph. And you know what? I've been meaning to do a little looking around here. Yeah, we're stuck in our head there, and Ben's trying to talk to us. So to everyone else, this assignment makes them have to explore the school, but I get to. Pretty sweet deal if I do say so myself. The hall outside the classroom was only one major photo op. Between that and the murals outside, I'm certain to find something cool. Yeah, we've annoyed him, okay. No, the murals won't work on their own. Since it was my first thought to use them, that means it's likely someone else's first thought. I need to think outside the box a bit. Think of some way to use the school's architecture to my advantage in a way that— Inko! My thoughts are disrupted by a worried-looking Ben. Maybe you should see a doctor, man. Head injuries are no laughing matter. I'm fine. What were you saying? I was asking how you were doing. You know, with school and classes now. Oh, right. I'm doing good. Really good, actually. I'm in a class that I'm 100% enjoying, starting to make some genuine friendships. Compared to the disaster of yesterday, today has been astoundingly positive. That's good to hear. Yeah, I've even got some friends now. Great, and what about your art submission? Was Liz able to help? There's something nibbling at the corner of my thoughts at the mention of the long-necked girl. Yeah, she gave me my login stuff and everything. Uploading the submission was a piece of cake after all. Awesome! Though that does make you competition now. Both Liz and I have pieces in the running too. She told me she had submitted something, yeah. I'm a bit concerned since I didn't have as much time at all to prepare anything, but... Hey, everyone's got a chance, you never know. Yeah, she was pretty cool about it too. That whole friend group is pretty welcoming. I think I'm pretty lucky. Lucky? Ben seems perplexed by my statement. You said something at lunch when Olivia vanished. I'm noticing for a silent paraplegic, she sure has a lot of people upset. You got some hidden drama with her too? Not really. Wait, 2? Who? Iadakin calls out to us, striding over to inspect. I take it you gentlemen are conversing about your assignment together? Of course, Mr. Iadakin. We were just discussing where we take our picture. Right, Ben? Well, that's good then. Good thing you guys weren't talking about something off-topic like gossip. That would be a pretty embarrassing use of your time right off the bat, I think. Especially considering you're currently the subject of some fairly humorous gossip, aren't you, Mr. Nito? I'm awash in a wave of shame from his words. I look at Ben, and I can see he feels it as well. If the air around someone needs clearing, clear it yourself. Iodakin has a point. Maybe once a friendship is established, I can learn more about her. Alright, off you go now, and remember to get your assignment done by the end of the week. The room empties out slowly, most of my peers still chatting and discussing their plans for the assignment. Before I continue talking with Ben about our own project, the student council president has already packed up and exiting the room. Guess we'll talk later then. Packing up my own notebook, I wave goodbye to my new favorite teacher and head off to my next class. Oh, this looks like a history room. Yep, I was right. Walking into history class for the first time, and it's about what I expect it to look like. Pictures of historical figures, small relics from various regions, and cartography of the Earth during its stages of continental drift. Though I notice that there's a distinct lack of a teacher in the class. Must be finishing up their lunch, I assume. Well, better get a good seat now before they're all taken. Eeny, meeny, miny... This one. I settle myself into my chosen desk and pull out my history book and notebook, along with a pencil. As the classroom fills with more and more students, it becomes a blur of vibrant scales. A few minutes pass, and I'm still wondering where the teacher is. Oh, okay, that was something. The suddenness of the door slamming open stops any and all noise. It's quiet enough to hear a pin drop. The figure walks into the classroom and... Oh my goodness, really? It's Sully? Oh, sweet heaven, no. He stands there and stares down at everyone, menacingly. He's the history teacher, too? Oh, okay. Thanks for walking me to my classroom, Sully. Of course, Miss Parkling. Oh, thank Raptor Jesus, he isn't our teacher. The Raptor woman adjusts her glasses as she scans around the room before looking down at the paperwork in her hands. Looks like we'll have some late arrivals, but let's get down to business. I know that I introduced myself yesterday, but for any of those who weren't here... Her momentary glance at me makes me believe Solly told her about my absence. My name is Miss Prockling, and this is history class. In this course, we'll be learning about the history of our primeval ancestors and their advancements through history. You can even say that it'll be like going back in time. But doesn't that sound exciting? Despite her admittedly forced enthusiasm, everyone in class responds with uninterested murmuring. Not sure why, though. This all does sound exciting. She walks over to her desk and places down her pile of folders before flipping open her own special version of the history book. With a click of a button, she also turns on the projector to reveal a prepared slideshow for today's lecture. To learn about the extensive history of Saurians and their culture is something I've yearned for. If you can turn your books to page 36, we'll begin with the first chapter detailing the earliest interaction between Saurians and hominids. Oh, that sounds interesting. And we never get to learn about it, because that would be too much. That would be too in-depth, and probably not exciting. I think I jinxed myself. Miss Prockling's history class is the polar opposite to Iodakin's photography class. While her introduction to the class engaged me at first, things have slowed down into an unbearably slow crawl. My eyes scan over the introductory text of the first chapter. Despite the tension between the two groups, human settlers to the New World would continue to make overtures of trade to the native Velociraptor tribes. I'm pretty sure I've read this line 3 times now. I tear my eyes away from the page in the hopes of blinking the boredom away. I look up to see the teacher staring down at various papers on her desk with laser focus. I must have stared too long, though, because I end up locked in a staring contest with Prockling. She raises an eyebrow at me. Okay then, write down notes of pages 3 through 7 about the discovery of the New World. Without even fully comprehending the words before me, I'm copying the page down to the letter in my notebook. Yes, that's very helpful. That's very helpful note-taking there. Absent-mindedly, I begin to recall everything that's happened so far with my new classmates. Ben carries himself with a lot of refinement and is easily my first pick as a photography partner. But that Mia girl, she doesn't seem to want to make friends. Of course, I could have figured that out from the old cold look she gave me yesterday, not to mention the rude hand gesture. Damien's very friendly, even if he can be a bit too enthusiastic sometimes. And though my encounter with Liz was brief, I can tell she's dependable. My progress in making friends has been pretty good, all things considered. But then there's Olivia. So far, she's still an enigma, and coupled with the apparent history she has with the others, it makes me all the more curious about her. Liz said it would be a bad idea to get invested, but in the end it's effectively gossip and hearsay. And this had come as something of a shock to me, but... "And what do we have here, Miss Halford?" The sudden voice of Miss Prockling snaps me out of my thoughts. I lean my head to see the teacher looking down at... Wait a minute. Olivia's here too? As luck would have it, I share not one but two classes with Olivia. I must have been so jaded from trying to read this textbook that I didn't even notice the girl in the wheelchair. She sits in the front row, diagonally in front of me. And I don't think she's noticed this strange twist of fate herself. "Only the second day of the school year and already doodling in class again." She proceeds to pick up the piece of paper from Olivia's desk. Looks like she's been drawing on it, though I can't tell what they are from where I'm sitting. "Listen, Olivia, I know history isn't the most exciting subject to learn, but could you at least pretend that you're taking notes?" The only response I hear from Olivia is a heavy sigh before leaning her head back down. While the teacher returns to skulking around the room, Olivia hunches over a notebook. Although I don't think those are notes she's taking. Nah, no one would do something like that with a totalitarian teacher patrolling the room. It's an attempt to get all of us to focus, but... I'm fighting a losing battle to keep my eyelids from shutting. My jaws clench tight to suppress the loud yawn building inside, even as Miss Prockling skulks right past me. Okay. Use your words, Alms. Use your words. Just before my drowsiness can overtake me, though, I notice minute movement in the corner of my eye. One of my classmates glances up at the teacher, whose eyes are roving over the opposite side of the room, and down to scribble something down. The papers then fold into a neat little note, and... I watch as the next person carefully unfolds the sheet and also scribbles on it, before folding and passing it along again. Curiously thoroughly piqued, I wait anxiously in my seat for the paper to get to me. It's a dangerous game, passing a note along so Prockling doesn't see. If I'm participating, does that make me a slacker? The student to my side makes his move to toss the note over. But Prockling starts turning around right then. He flinches and drops the hot potato on my desk in a flash. I nearly slammed my own paper over the page to cover it from sight. Miss Prockling continues to lecture about how the raptors and humans eventually started to get along because they traded narcotic leaves, or something like that. Narcotic leaves? Oh, okay. And as you can see on the board here... Now! I lift my paper. Luckily, there's plenty of space left. As for what everyone else has drawn... A not-so-solid attempt at a race car. Rough sketches of some eyes. A bunch of doodles. Names in very stylized fonts that I could only describe as graffiti. And... of course. It's not high school if someone hadn't drawn a penis. Miss Prockling with stink lines coming off of her. Yeesh, better not get caught with this. That being said, I'm drawing a blank. What should I draw? I don't exactly doodle every day. Drawing stuff for others is a nice gesture. Yeah, Inko, but I don't think it's good to do it on something that has, been communally drawn on, really, so it seems less personal. Maybe I'll try to break the ice a bit. Oh gosh, yep. Yeah, I saw this coming. Although, I don't really know anything about her. Hey, it can't hurt to try though, yeah? I can think of a few things to sketch out here. Let's see. Oh no! 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 No, are you freaking serious? I have to draw this myself actually? Oh no! I'm okay, I'm drawing a blank here. Oh no. Okay. So you're gonna get to see my poor attempt at art skills, really. So might just be doing some jump cuts here as I try to think of like what to do. Uh, uh, okay. Okay. I mean, sure, let's do the closest representation we can of Olivia. Alright, hold up. Okay, I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna give myself a little bit of reference here. Okay, so, I'm not sure how much time we're actually gonna get to do this, but yeah, okay. So, let's see. Okay. Hello? Right there? Okay. Let's start here. Alright. Just to give you an idea, it's like I am attempting to draw the the splash graphic that's actually on the Steam page for this game. So yeah, so everyone will be able to have a chance to reference. It's like, yeah, this looks absolutely nothing like it. So see, that's actually more of a rectangle shape, I guess. Do that connect here? Okay. And it actually has more of a curve this way. I'm certainly hoping that we're not going to be timed really with this, because, yeah, Miss Procting would definitely have caught us by now at this point. Of course, it almost looks like I'm giving her kind of a duck face now. Okay, I'm gonna make this head a little bit larger, really. So, excuse me. All right, I'm gonna pause just for a moment. Okay, so I'm just gonna. Yeah, wait. Where's my reference? Okay. Okay. It's gonna. Let's see. It starts about. Let's see. That's okay. That's actually her face there. Okay. That's the actual head. Okay. Give us some rough idea of the shape of her hair here. Gosh, okay. I may not actually spend so much extra time on this, but okay, no. Her mouth actually needs to be wider, okay. Her jaw, okay. Maybe more like that. Yeah, it's a basic outline of her muzzle, I guess. Okay. I want to just cut this line off just slightly so that there's a distinction between her nose and her hair. Okay, let's see here. So this is actually the bottom portion of her eye. Make this little swoop here. And her other eye, her left eye, is like an actual full oval. Kind of on the same level, but it swoops up. Oh gosh, okay. Make it all one line. Beep. Okay. Anime reasons. Make sure the eye is the one that's visible here, so I'll blot out the pieces of hair that are there. There's that. There's the iris. Here's the pupil. Here's the iris here. And pupil. Let's get some of her tooths in here. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Get a little smile there. Alright, cool. I mean, I can kind of see it. Okay. Okay, where was I with this? Okay, well, no. Don't let ADD take you everywhere. Just kind of focus on one thing at a time. One thing. Okay. All right. I mean, it's kind of there. It's kind of her there. Okay, but well, we still. I want to finish that. I want to get part of her hoodie there in the picture, so it seems kind of like a bust, more of a bust, really. So, okay. So let's see from her jaw here. Here we have. All right, this is the main fold. Hold the end of. Okay, this is her neck here. Oh, come on, pencil, come on. Okay. I'm gonna do this little triangle here to like color that in. That's her black shirt. I'm assuming that's underneath here. All right. A little fold line here. All right, shoulder out and then down. All right. Connect with the hair here. Here's the hood portion of her hoodie. Gonna make that little fold here. It out and down a little bit here. I'm just gonna let's see. Starting here, there's a fold line that connects down to that portion. Alright, and I'm gonna extend that out just slightly more. Angle that down a bit. Alright, there. Okay, I think we're gonna go with this really. So it is not the best. But hey, it looks kind of like her. It looks like her, right? Yeah, let me just color in her eyebrow here so that they stand out a little bit more. All right, there you go, everyone. Oh, hold on. Let's get the small details of her eye sockets here. So, yeah. If I could have a thinner line, really. So for the pencil, it's like I definitely would be using that. So, All right, and that was about 20 minutes worth of time, which you all did not have to sit through all of that. So, but yeah, here it is. Here's our mate. Here's our titular character. The Gator girl. Here's Olivia. All right, we're just gonna say we're done. And done. I didn't have a lot of room to really work with, but as I surreptitiously admire my work, I find that I have a long way to go. Yep, definitely I agree with that, Inko. It feels like I'm being mogged by the other doodles. Alright, Olivia's sure to like this. Miss Prockling is still turned around. Alright, if I slip the paper over Olivia's shoulder, I won't have to get up and risk getting caught. And we're gonna get her in trouble. And here we go. Yep, here we go. Yeah. It's a bit tricky and I hesitate, but the paper meets its destination. Oh, look, she's smiling. She doesn't even look back, just takes the paper eagerly. It's completely different from how she was acting earlier. Her tail is even swaying side to side. Is that wagging? Huh. Alright, now she's gonna see my sketch and possibly think I'm cool. She's not turning around. Well, it's not much, so it could also just... I'll be taking that. Miss Prockling snatches the paper from Olivia's claws. She holds her arms out. She takes a glance at the paper, and a small crack of a smile appears on her face before going back to its stoic visage. So, Is this how you view me, Miss Halford? Prockling holds the paper up for all to see. Everyone in the class does their best to avoid her persecuting gaze. I know that most of you were a part of this as well. Look, I'm not asking for much. Please do your assignments when you're in class. It's the least you can do. We were just passing a note one at a time. She wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, how come all of us are in trouble? I noticed Prockling looking down at Olivia for a moment before letting out a sigh of defeat. Look, since it's only the second day, I'll let this one slide, but I'm warning you now that I won't be so lenient the next time it happens. Otherwise, you'll end up like the last student who decided to be disruptive during class.
Pfft, what happened to him? Get a detention slip or something?
Oh boy. Miss Prockling pulls up the window blinds and pushes the window screen open. She then takes out a walkie-talkie. Sully. Yep, another hippie. Seat H4.
Oh! Oh my goodness. Wow.
Good job, soldier. Now, if we can, let's continue.
That certainly to put everyone in line.
We were on the second floor. I sink back into my seat and continue writing, mainly out of unadulterated fear of experiencing the same wrath from the teacher. Man, now I feel guilty for Olivia. I was the one who passed her the note after all. Maybe I shouldn't have tried. Well, I can always apologize after class. Miss Prockling places the note and continues with her lecture for another half hour. With 10 minutes of class left, I see Prockling look at the clock above the door. I then notice Olivia grabbing her attention, and as if she knew what's already going to be said to her... Okay, let me take that again. I then notice Olivia grabbing her attention, and as if she knew what she's already going to say to her, the teacher nods her head. Olivia grabs her backpack and shoves all of her things into it. In silence, she wheels herself to the door, opens it, and rolls on out. The teacher must have noticed me watching her leave. Accommodations. Well, there goes my chances of saying sorry to her. Feeling defeated, I decide to focus on writing down my notes for the rest of the time left. Although I do wonder. She must have noticed my doodle. Did she just ignore it then? Class comes and goes, and I head back home on the metro. Another day, another dollar. Though this time I pass on the mini breakfast burritos. After how bad they messed me up during PE yesterday, I don't want my stomach to endure that torture again. Instead, I just got a few hash browns from a fast food joint by the metro. I idly scroll through my feed, as I usually do, while the metro jostles about to my destination. It's been a few days now, and the strange scent of extremely cheap detergent and alcohol have become an afterthought. Some of the vines are actually plastic, and the flowers are little air fresheners. That's not actually something I noticed, more so witnessed when a passenger tried eating one. Some of the vines are real though. For some reason they go untouched anyways. Maybe they're just not tasty? Vegetarians don't eat the grass in their lawns, after all. Right? Huh. Anyways, the lights have gone out and someone just dropped a wrecking ball next to me. It must be Mr. Ferris.
Good morning, Inko.
Oh, good morning. Has work been going fine?
It has. Slowly, but I'm very thorough. I hate the idea of a place learning not being an ideal place to learn. And I appreciate our talks. Your perspective has really helped me understand the student body more.
You're welcome. Hey, have you given any more thought to the fashion thing?
I have, although I can't say I really get it.
There's plenty to see everywhere if you just look around.
Really? Like what?
Well, like Look at the girl on the other end of the car there.
It's rather revealing. I don't think that's really for me. I love my wife.
I just mean as an example.
Well, there's an event coming up. I could see about trying something new. What would you recommend?
That's a good question. What would be good to use here? In my inner eye, I conceptualize the coolest possible Ferris. The fresh machine is going full throttle. First, sunglasses. His eyes may be a little too far apart for that. However, beanie... moving on. Big guns, fresh jacket. There we go, the coolest possible Ferris. No. I say no. Absolutely not, Ian Co. I think you're missing here.
Mr. Nito?
Sorry, just thinking. Why don't you start with... Rado Frosted Glass Dim Rooms Sunglasses. Cotton Refab Beanie number 27. Malcolm Seasonal Crossprint Jacket. Okay, so we have an option of the three that were actually chosen there. Definitely not the beanie. That did not look right for his head, really, so. A jacket might be okay, but we don't really know enough about him to see if that actually kind of, like, fits his vibe. I mean, some sunglasses might be a nice touch, really, so. It could work. Might look a little awkward, but it probably would work at the best out of all these three. I'm gonna go with that.
Really now? Those all sound rather expensive.
Yeah, they are. You know what? Try a gold chain necklace.
What?
Yeah, just make sure it's appropriately sized so it doesn't look silly. I'm sure it would go a long way, and they're pretty cheap to get. He has a very thick neck. It's gonna be pretty long either way.
Well, alright. I'll take your word for it. We sure talk about fashion a lot, though. Is that really all everything's about these days?
Oh, of course not. What do you want to know about?
What's Yao Lao mean? I've heard the term thrown around recently.
That was like 5 years ago.
Oh.
Poor Mr. Ferris. Yeah, he's speaking of YOLO in case you didn't connect that. Thank you, Mr. Obvious. Why, you're very welcome. Mr. Ferris and I talk more about Mr. Ferris and I talk more about contemporary urban slang until we arrive at our stop.